Hey everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Air Hauler with me, Maarten37. So I've got the plane down here in Rio De Janeiro. Actually, last week I was going to do a flight. I think it was like MPTO or something to St. Maarten. I really wanted to do that. There was one going to Boise. I was actually in the process of going to St. Maarten, and so I can't remember exactly. Something happened, and I'm saying just screw this. I think I don't remember if it's blue screen or what, but I was like, screw this. And but I got the plane doing. They did a couple other flights, and now it's down here in Rio de Janeiro. Got another flight to St. Maarten. I think it already actually put the St. Maarten one there, so that's how I got it down to St. Maarten, or down to Rio, just so I could go to St. Maarten. There's actually two here, but we can only take one. So this is the more expensive one, or pays more, $479,339. It's gonna be almost 3,000 miles, about 2,944 miles. So it is actually a pretty daggone long flight for us. I've got this thing loaded up already. Pretty much ready to go. By the way, I did repair the plane. It's 100% now. Man, it costs a ton of money to do that. Move myself down to Rio. And by the way, we have sooner, obviously, for St. Maarten and for Rio de Janeiro. It's, I think, Mega Airport Rio. It's by I can't remember the guy's name now. I'll put the link in the description. But then Tropical Sim does the actual airport. But it's really, really nice scenery. I've got everything extremely dense, so it won't run at 30 frames a second, but it doesn't seem too bad. But I've got enough fuel for 3,256 miles. Got the cargo loaded, and we're gonna do a day here. We need to move it back a lot, just to make sure that we get there during the day. Daylight. That's pretty good right there. 8 o'clock in the morning. Now, I don't know if they've got any heavies. I did see a heavy there a second ago. Let's try this heavy right here. If that one doesn't work, I'll have to come back and choose another. Well, I'll pick that for right now. And with that, let's go ahead and move on over to the plane. Alright, everybody, got the plane started and everything. It's kind of weird right here at 51. We're kind of out of the thing, but it's because it doesn't know the actual scenery, the parking spots. I hope we're not on this side of the airport that I'm thinking of, because I think we actually want to be on the other side. I hope we don't have to go clear around. It's kind of a long taxi. If I do, I might have to cut that out and edit that out. It's kind of a long taxi to go clear on the other side of the airport. So we shall see. Alright, let's go down here and we'll get this thing started. This view has moved bad. Alright, so we're here in Rio de Janeiro. It's SBGL. And let's find the flight plan right here. SBGL, TNCM. Activate and execute. Alright, let's go over to departures and arrivals. We're going to depart. I originally had it at 15, so we might be able to do this, whichever one's closer. But I switched it to 10. It's kind of a crosswind no matter what you take, but I'll put it for 10. And we do have a SID Evra 1A transition at INSED. And arrivals, we're going to land obviously on runway 10. I don't know that I don't think we had a transition. I think it might have actually been Gouda, because I do remember that being in there. But I'm going to leave that blank for right now. Reserves, I usually just put 3. Cruising altitude, we're heading to the north. Let's say 37,000 feet. And cost index, we'll do 75. Hopefully we've got enough fuel. Execute. Alright, so for flaps, we're going to use 15. We are pretty heavy. We're a little over, I think, on cargo. We do have 3,000 miles worth of fuel, so I'm going to put that at 15. No D-rated takeoff or anything. I just put that in outside air temperature. That is not at all what I meant. 15 Celsius. Oh, daggone it. Hopefully, daggone it. Oh, outside air temperature. Let's say, I don't know what 15 is in Fahrenheit, so I'm just going to leave it. I can't believe I did that. I got ahead of myself. 15 on the flaps. 675 is what we need. And 153 is our V2. Alright. I'm just messing with the trim right now. Get that up a little bit. Let's go ahead and look at the legs here. We'll run through, see if there's any discontinuities. Alright, put that one in. Lesser main pond. There, see, there's that Gouda. Didn't actually say the runway anywhere. I think this happened last time, though. It didn't actually say the runway. Alright, let's put plan. We'll take a look at what she does here. I'm going to move the range down just a little bit. Alright, stepping through there. That all looks good. I changed the runway takeoff just so it line up better with that SID. Although we use that SID no matter what, so we will be able to change. Could it? There we go. Lessor Maypond. Now, there's something weird going on there. Lesser Maypond, Lesser Maypond. We obviously don't want that. And see, there it's actually going around, so it doesn't even have it really going towards all the way to the runway. Lessor. Lessor. Alright, now we can, and we'll probably just take over and come straight in. That should be good right there. Map. Alright, another thing we can do for the approach. 143. It already says 143, daggone. We'll look through the back here. 180, I'm alright with all that. Well, 140, so I'm alright with all that. Because we'll be on, we'll be manually flying by that point anyway. I'm trying to get back to my pilot view. There we go. TCAS on. I was thinking there was one other thing, maybe not. Flight directors coming on. Or for LNAV, VNAV 096. And I do luckily have the heading of the other runway if we so choose to use that. And put this up to 37,000. And use this. I hit this, for some reason that knob never likes me very much. Alright. Parking brake is off. Go ahead and push back. Yeah, I'm almost sure that we're out the other runway. Alright, I'm moving the trim right now. Trying to get to 675. It's almost perpendicular behind us. So I'm thinking we're going to have to use a different runway. That looks like it's runway 10. That's what I was planning on using. No, that's what I have in here. 10096. I get that 675, 625. There we go, 675. Brakes and RTO. And flaps to 15. This happened the other day. She just will not turn for anymore for some reason. When you're doing the FSX pushback, it just, like, it doesn't respond. Go ahead and flip our taxi light on. And we'll stop the pushback. Come out here to the right, because I do believe we're closer to that end of the runway. Though not necessarily. I'm going to go ahead and pause it for 1 second. Alright everybody, I'm back. We're actually going to go out to the left here. I was trying to look around. I actually didn't find it, but I'm pretty sure, just looking at the heading, it's going to be runway 15. So we're going to come out here to the left. I'm going to have to fix my heading now. 15 is 148 degrees on the heading. Try and get myself centered up here. Using both hands. Let's see here. It's 148 right there. Yeah, 148. So that is correct. So taxi out here to the left. It was hard to see. I never even got over. I was trying to look over to the runway markers, and just so slow with EZDok, the way I've got it set up and everything, you know. Never got over there. I was like, I'm just looking at the heading. It's like, I don't think it can't be right that wouldn't be our runway. So we'll keep on taxiing. I guess we'll go right here and on down to the right. It looks like we should be able to do that just fine. As you can see, that is the runway up ahead. Actually, I think it's one down. Yes, we can actually take this straight over. Oh, I don't like how there's so many taxi. So ways to taxi. There's like too many options. It actually screws you up. I don't see anybody else hardly flying today. I thought I saw one plane taxiing out earlier, but that's about it. I got too slow there. One thing about FSX, man, I've never really, an EZDok, never quite figured out how to make that thing stop moving around. Because it moves me back so daggone much. I really got to start messing more with the X-Plane. I've been planning on doing some FS Economy and X-Plane 11. I think that would be a perfect way to get more into it. I just need to do a video or two before I actually get going in it, because I'm going to show how to set up the views and stuff with X camera. I've been wanting to do that video for a year now. I'm way behind. I don't know, every time I want to do a video like that, I kind of freeze up. Well, I guess our plane is heavy enough now that you have to actually use thrust. Usually, I just put it in idle and the speed keeps on climbing and climbing and climbing when we're taxiing, but now I do it and it's actually slowing down, so I'm going to have to put a little throttle into it. I guess that's how heavy we are. It's still going down, so I'm going to put a little more into it. I guess we are in fact pretty daggone heavy. Flaps 15, that is kind of a lot of flaps. I think we've taken off with that before. Like I say, our cargo, we're actually technically over on the max. Even though on the dispatcher we still had a lot of to go. And we do have a fair bit amount of fuel, over 3,000 miles worth. Can't remember the exact poundage.
Flight attendants, please.
There's a discrepancy on the fuel burn. You know, I've got an air hauler into the dispatcher. Got a little over 96,000 pounds of fuel. So quite a bit of fuel. Alright, we're almost at the end here. There's somebody. That is a weird light for the landing lights or whatever. That is funky. Now see, he's landing at the other runway. The one that I originally put in. But like I said, it's kind of a crosswind for both. You can see they're not perfectly perpendicular with to each other. I think we usually take off on this runway, but I usually land on the other. I think that's how it usually has been. Not sure why it's always set up like that. Alright, stopping right here. Kind of looking around. I don't think they're... See, we didn't even pick him up on the TCAS. TCAS really doesn't work in this plane sometimes, it seems. Landing lights are on. Strobes are on. Let's go ahead and enter the runway. Gonna go ahead and arm the auto throttles. Man, she's taking some thrust to get going, I gotta say. Heavy plane today. That, like, shimmering, that was happening earlier when I was testing this out. We'll get her lined up. I have fear we're gonna need, a ton of runway. Just because of our weight. Alright, stopping right here. Brakes are RTO, LNAV, VNAV armed, auto throttles, taxi light strobes, landing lights, flaps are set. I think we're good. Get myself lined up just a little bit better. I don't know, I'm really particular about that. Alright, I'm on the brakes. Bring it up. Alright. Thrust is set. Toga.
Thrust set. Check thrust.
I hate that shimmer is following us.
80 knots. Checked.
I think we're getting up to speed easily.
D1. Rotate. V2.
That wasn't too bad. Positive rate gears coming up.
Positive rate. Gear up.
Come on, I'm trying to get it back to the crosshairs. I have a really hard time, there it goes, flying this plane manually. I'm terrible at it. I think it's one reason the controls are real quick. It's not quite as stiff as I'm used to. I'm going to go ahead and flip the autopilot on.
Autopilot on.
I kind of want to take a look at
Autopilot
the scenery. It looks so daggone great. We got to do that fairly quick, or it gets... I'm afraid of the visibility. Beautiful area. This is the airport, getting already kind of hard to see.
Flaps power.
Go ahead and move the flaps down. You see that scenery? It's just freaking beautiful, man. Paulo Ricardo, flaps 5, is the maker of the scenery. I remembered that. I always want to say like Sao Paulo, and it's like, no, Sao Paulo is the daggone city. Not obviously this is Rio, but I always screw that up. Yeah, Paulo Ricardo. Take a look outside again. I think it comes with the Landclass as well. See how I get a lot of popping like that. And see, that's why I've never used it for an FSX flight.
With our flight underway, I'd like to
That is really odd how that's doing that. I love the color of the grass that they have. I'm going to totally retract the flaps now.
After takeoff checklist.
What a place though, man. Rio De Janeiro. 5,900 feet. I'm going to go ahead and flip the tax light off. I wish we didn't have to listen to that lady. I really wish I wouldn't have done that. So technically you can't hear, you're not supposed to be able to hear her up here anyway. Strange. I'm going to go ahead. I want to check something on the progress here. See, we're going to have tons of fuel. I was afraid of that, but that could come down as we go. Like, we're not supposed to have 34. I just don't quite get it. It says we're only going to use 60, so we've got like a third too much. It says 1623, so that's about 6 hours. That's a long daggone flight. So that's the thing, like Rio, man, it'd be awesome to go there, but there's just like nothing near it, it seems. It's so far down, so far to the south. See, I love the texture of that grass and stuff. And some of it doesn't look too realistic in his sceneries, but like I think that looks really, really good. And of course, it's got Orbx, South America, Orbx. I think it's, yeah, South America and North America, just in case. I've got Landclass Central and South America for the mesh. Although, like I say, I think this here in Rio has from Ricardo. Might have mesh as well, which would override it because it's higher up. Get this heading matched up. Heading on up north over the mountains. These mountains look pretty daggone good. Rio in the distance. What a beautiful place, though. I'd like to go there once in my lifetime. I think it'd be best to go while you're still as young as you can, though. Especially for the chicks in Rio. Alright, well, it's a 6-hour flight, and we're pretty much unable to see anything now. Although we're up in the mountains now. So a 6-hour flight, so I'm going to go ahead and speed on up, and we'll be back in just a little bit. Alright, everybody, slowing it down to normal speed here. Man, she just all of a sudden just went screaming fast again. Way over the 250. Daggone. You can just see about 10 miles from that approach point. Let's go ahead, while we're trying to slow down, it's not really working that well. Let's go ahead, and so we're gonna be so daggone heavy. At 26, that's crazy heavy. 143, 143. So that's one thing. I don't know how to do it now, because remember, I was going to try and go a little bit slower on some of my landings to help. Problem is now, we're so heavy, I don't know if I should do that. Alright, so 2,500. I can't really get the gear out just yet, because we're going so daggone fast. As you heard, I've got it set to 2,000. I'm going to let that go down to 1,000. And I'm going to use that heading mode here. Bring us out here just a little bit. Hopefully do a little bit better job. Auto brakes are set at 3. I don't have the spoilers armed because, well, this thing is still out. And we still can't get down to 250 just yet. This is crazy. She is just barreling down. Well, I mean, you know, we're going to be all right in the end. I'm going to make that actually one. I'm going to click this over. I'm going to put actually 1,500. And that we just went below it. I see it wants to bring it up. Bring her all around a little more. I don't believe that is the island. If it is, we're on the edge of it. I can't really remember. The heading of the runway is supposed to be 096. Go ahead and hold the 15. We'll bring this down to 200 knots. Maybe it is. I can't remember if it's on the edge or what. Alright, speed is coming down. Oh, we're gonna get a little too far to the left because I'm not paying enough attention. I was just trying to gauge, you know. I'm not really sure of what the altitude we should be, but at 1500 we should be pretty good. You see, we're a little off to the left now. The wind is coming back at us. That's good. I thought earlier it was going to be going with us, but it looks good. Earlier, also, there was a red line on it. By the way, gears coming down. Start putting some flaps out here. Just move this to 190.
Ladies and gentlemen, in preparation for landing, please return all seat backs and tray tables to their upright and stowed.
Yeah, there's a red arrow on FS Commander, which usually indicates what does indicate some heavier winds. See, it's about 16 knots there. You see, she's banking around a lot, trying to hold it. That, I guess, is the runway. I was thinking we were over more towards the edge. It shows that we are low. Flaps to 10. See the pipe lights. Yeah, we were really getting knocked around there. It still feels like we're off to the left, and you can see how we're banking. Have this thing go a little more to the right here. Flaps to 15.
Flight attendants, please be
We're
seated
down to
for
180. We might be going a little fast here. So I'm going to go ahead and bring her down. Didn't want to bring her down too much there. Flaps at 17. Now we're finally getting back over to the right a little bit. Man, we are really getting knocked around. She's just going right, left, right, left, right, left. Alright, flaps are going to 18. We're just coming up on the PAPI lights here. About to take it manual.
Landing checklist.
Set that 148. I'm going to go ahead and disable auto throttles. Alright, autopilot is off. Plane is mine. Need to go ahead and get down a little more now. We set this to 096. I don't want to spend time on that. We're going to get too high. As we are doing now. Alright, now I can take get my stuff together here. And we're going to go to full flaps. See, setting all that stuff, I've gotten myself all out of whack now. Alright, we're back on the glide slope here. Bringing the thrust back in because we're getting way too slow. We're on the glide path. Slightly high, bring back the power. To see that speed just jumped way up right there. I was having that kind of problem with Opus, so I don't want that problem here. So now we're going way too fast. And it's gotten us high.
400.
Come on, girl.
300.
There's a plane on the runway.
Approaching minimums.
Now the speed has come way down again.
200. 100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Come on, don't come down too fast. Says it was okay. As you can see, we landed slower, which is what I was aiming for. already tried to do a good flare at the end. We were probably, we usually are pitched up. We probably were pitched up there. Because I flared and it was like it held just for a second. But we're not floating down like we were with these slower landing speeds.
We will be taxiing for the next few minutes, so please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until the captain turns on.
So
the
all in all,
fasten
that didn't seem
seatbelt
too
sign.
bad.
At that time, please remember to check around your seating area, in the seat pockets, and overhead bins for all personal belongings.
Taking
that you
her
brought on
swinger
board.
ride here.
Please take care when opening the overhead bins, as the contents may have shifted during flight.
Alright, see if we can swing her. Come on. Gotta give her a little more thrust or we'll stop. Oh, did I need to go a little wider? I think we're good. We kept her out of the grass. Go ahead and retract these flaps. I'm gonna go ahead and stop the recording. Auto brakes and go off. I think we gotta go all the way down to here, yeah, to exit the runway. Yeah, I'm gonna say that was a pretty good landing, but we're probably pitched up. We'll be able to see, you know, on the replay. All in all, I was kind of happy with that, you know. I think the lower landing speeds are how we have to do it with this plane. I hate it. You saw the we were down at around 145 knots, and all of a sudden it was sprung up to over 160. It was like, come on, man. And then it went back down. I don't know why that keeps happening. It's like, I was gonna say, this seems like a smaller taxiway right here to the right. I don't know. Yeah, I don't want to take that. I don't know that's necessarily smaller, but we need to obviously be down here more. We're probably just gonna have to go ahead and taxi to a gate, which that's all right. And that plane got off the runway just in time. I saw that little white plane. Almost looks like there's somebody down there right now. There is someone there right now, isn't there? Is he screaming down the runway? I think he is. Wow. She's busy today, Princess Juliana. I don't know that we went down far enough, to be quite honest. I thought we were going to be at the edge. We're not. Landing lights off. Strobes off. Yeah, we should have come down one more. But we have to take out the, is that a Caravan? Or that's a Twin Otter. Sorry, Twin Otter, we're going to have to take you out with one of our wings. I'm thinking. TCAS is off. Fly Tampa obviously makes this scenery. I think almost every FlightSim has this scenery. I mean, it's for good reason. It's great scenery, plus it's such a great airport. It's a shame what happened to her. I guess she's still back up and running now, but hope everything is pretty good there after the hurricane nailed it. Trying to come out a little wider here. Obviously, we're a little too wide to be on that taxi line, to be quite honest. We are a huge plane. Although, I mean, 747s and stuff land here. KLM, unfortunately, retired there. 747 always went there. I don't know if they retired the plane, but they don't fly it there anymore. I can't remember which way it goes. And we're going to have to pick what one we want to go to, because we're so huge. Kind of thinking we'll go over to this one, maybe. I feel odd because we're such a gargantuan plane and such a not a really a great place where it's, you can see the monster 747. So you can see how much bigger that is than us, and we're 787. This probably wasn't the best choice. You got a swinger wide. I think we're way too big to actually be parking at this one because that wall. Probably gonna take out the wing. Yeah, we're a little to the left. Easy there, bus. Taxi off. Let's see. Yeah, over the wall. That's what I figured. We're a little big there. We couldn't really park in that other one because the 747's there. Parking brake. Let's get ourselves some external power here. Alright, so power, external power is on. Go ahead and cut the fuel. Although she's gonna black screen on me, she always does when I come back. Alright, everything is off up here. She's shutting down. So let's go over air hauler. Alright, let's go ahead and unload and get paid. No damage to the plane, so that's always good. Just we'll have to wait till the replay to see how good, since we don't get the right readout. Or since it doesn't do it. Ever since I've installed it, it seems like it didn't work. I don't know how I broke it. I'm sure it was by copying like a backup. Come on there, what is that? Microwaves, maybe? Let's take a look over here at finance. It is climbing back up to 96.43. A lot of that because I've had other people flying, and I've had to do some manual ones for them. And cancel take out of the loan. 586 million. We're looking good. Why did that do that? All right, so there you go. 479,000. I have no idea how much it costs us in fuel because we have so much fuel left. Ridiculous that we can't really narrow it down. And that one, I came close to what it really needed, and it seemed like the dispatcher said you were way more. Usually it says way less, so it's kind of a weird situation there. Let's look at how much fuel there is. Yeah, 25,000 pounds. It says 868 left. I give it not even 200, so weird. St. Martin, I don't know if I'll fly again this weekend. Either way, even if I don't, we'll come out of St. Martin, obviously. Oh, Montreal. But we can't really do that because Montreal is so hard to run, especially at the end. Although last time we did it really nice, I gotta say. Keto, I have approaching keto. We've never shown that on my channel. That would be really badass to do. We might do that. It's got 42 hours. Buffalo, I can't. That's one of our bases, but it doesn't pay anything. Keto does. Acapulco, that's a nice place. We don't have a base there. Thessaloniki, now 4,500 miles. It doesn't pay. It only pays 77 grand. Why go all the way there when Keto's paying 300 grand more than that? Memphis, don't have the time. Boston, probably do have the time, but still, actually, the best one is going to be Keto. And, you know, we could set up a base in Keto because look at that. Lima, I believe that is, yeah, Lima is the closest one, and there's nothing really around it. And since we have scenery for Keto, that might be a good idea. It's really sparse in South America, but there's not a ton of big cities. They're all like far away from each other. You know, I like flying out of Rio, but there's just nothing around Rio. And then there's one going back, which would be cool because I like St. Martin. But that goes to Vegas. Oh, but 9 hours. There's no way I can do that. That would have been awesome. To go to Quito and then off to Vegas, which we have a bunch of scenery for, that would have been badass. That is St. John's. I saw that earlier. That pays a lot. Puerto Plata? So maybe Quito. If not, I don't know. I can go to Quito if I fly this weekend, but I'm not sure what's going to happen. What is today? It's like May 5th. We got the Derby going on here in a couple hours and stuff like that. So I don't know what's going to happen. So I have no idea what's going to be next. But anyhow, thanks for watching, everybody. I hope y'all did enjoy it. And I will catch you guys on the next flight.